Okay, this is a new project I picked up the other day. It's a Simjet 50cc. It's not working at the minute. It turns over, but there's no spark or anything. So to try and get it running, the first thing I'm going to do is charge a battery and get a new spark plug and see if that does the trick. Okay, I've checked the battery and it was pretty much dead. And I checked the spark plug down here and it was the wrong spark plug. So I got a new spark plug for it, and the spark plug that was needed, there's a spark plug down in there. And the spark plug that is needed for this bike is it's a BR8 HSA. Put the spark plug in. The gun is very tricky. I'm just doing up the spark plug. I'll be tight enough. Then we'll reinstall the battery once it's fully charged, and then give it a go and see what works. All plastic, and seat has been removed. New spark plug installed and battery charged. It has compression, has spark, but after stripping down the carburetor and seeing that it seems to be fine, I don't think that it's getting any fuel, so that would be the next stage. As you can see, we moved the bike into the conservatory, a little bit drier, a little bit better to work on. Took all the cowling off and everything, and had a little inspection. The vacuum valve for the fuel line was all connected up wrong, so the line going down to the tank, the vacuum line and up to the carburetor were all connected wrong. They are now connected in the right place. Cranked the engine over, still wouldn't fire. After further inspection on the cylinder, find the manifold here only had one bolt at the back. The other three, here, here and here, were missing. I'll have to get 3 new bolts to fit in there to create the seal, to create the vacuum. Then hopefully it'll fire up. Let's wait and see. Okay, it's another day. I found 4 bolts and I fitted them there, there, there and there. The back 2, as you can see there, are M632s and the front 2 are M622s on the cylinder inlet, which connects the carburetor to the cylinder. I'm hoping that that's fixed the vacuum leak, and the vacuum pump is all connected up properly now. So I'm going to give it a few kicks. I don't think it's going to start, but I just want to see that fuel is coming into the filter here. Give it a try and see what happens. Give it a try. And try the kickstart and keep an eye on the filter. Let's see. We have fuel. Vacuum leak seems to be fixed. Very good. So now I'm going to keep pumping the foot now to fill the carburetor, and then we'll turn the ignition on and give it a try. We have batteries being on charge, so now disconnect the battery. So let's put them here. Spark plug is fully tight. I apologize. Key in the ignition. I won't turn it on just yet. I'll pump some more fuel through. Turn the ignition on now. And I'm going to try it, but I'm going to try it with the electric start. And I'm hoping that it's going to work. I'll pull the brake in. Give it some revs. Not yet. Maybe I need some more fuel to the carburetor. And keep trying and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, we got a bit of light today. Nice change. And I came out earlier, and after thinking about it and having a discussion with my wife, we decided we need to have a look at the cylinder and the piston. So I've removed the cylinder head and cylinder barrel and the piston head. I'm sorry I didn't record this, but it was way too dark earlier. In order to get the cylinder off, I had to undo the exhaust on under here, as you can see. Take them 2 bolts out. Take the 4 bolts out of the cylinder head, and to remove the exhaust, apart from the front 2 on the manifold, you have to undo the bolt here, and there's one here going through the pivot. So, and then you can remove it. Then you just angle it down to remove it from the cylinder barrel, and took the piston head off and looked, and as you can see, piston looked fine, but the rings were literally jammed inside with no gap at all. So I freed the rings up and they can move freely, compress and come back out. But if you can see inside there's a little pin, and there should be one there, which the piston rings have to line up with in order for it to work properly and compress and give compression. So I'll film it going back together, and then we'll try and start it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll work fine. But remember, when we put all this back together, it has to be oiled up with 2-stroke oil so that it moves freely and doesn't cause friction. Right. Oh, when inserting the piston back into the cylinder, I find it easier to put the piston in first, then attach the cylinder, and then whilst it's on there, then place in the gudgeon pin to hold it in place. And you can reinsert the cylinder, put the head back on with the gasket, insert the reed valve, put the carburetor and reed valve case back on top, connect up the airbox, and then it should be all good to try. So fingers crossed. Okay, that's the cylinder head put back on, cylinder on, reed valve back in, and the carburetor's all hooked up. So now we just have to reinsert the spark plug. Turn and connect up the HT lead back to it. Okay, fuel line up out of the way into the fuel vacuum pump. Now we just have to reconnect the exhaust and we should be good to go. The 2 bolts here go into the manifold and the 2 bolts here go into the exhaust brackets itself. Now we can disconnect the battery and try it. Okay, we're all back together. Time to give it 1 or 2 kicks to get the fuel into the carburetor and then give it a try. Oh gosh, compression seems like a lot better. Give it a try. Oop, no battery. Bad connection on the battery. Maybe a little bit more. Come on, it's gonna go. Come on, you gotta go. Try altering the mixture a bit and see if that works. After the mixture. The answer to will it work? Yes, it will. Thanks for watching.